pleased to present this proclamation for Gerry Howse, who passed away a few months ago. Gerry is very involved in the Smyrna La Vergne community. And I was thinking on the way over here, I was thinking there's a quote that says, people really don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And one thing about Mr. Howse, he really cared about the community and the kids in this community. Whereas we were greatly saddened to learn of the passing of Gerry A. Howse of Smyrna, and whereas Gerry Howse was an exemplary public servant and consummate professional who worked diligently to improve the quality of life for his fellow citizens in numerous capacities, and whereas born in Smyrna on March 25th, 1958, Mr. Howse was the son of John and Roberta Howse, and whereas Gerry Howse distinguished himself as a professional of the greatest dedication, ability, and integrity throughout his career with the La Vergne Police Department and retired as a sergeant of dispatch. And whereas dedicated to serving the needs of his fellow citizens, Mr. Howse was a trained FBI hostile negotiator, as well as executive director of the Police Athletic League and member of the National Police Athletic League Board of Directors. He also treasured as many years coaching softball and mentoring students as a leader in a number of youth programs. And whereas Mr. Howse was an active and devout member of Elders Chapel Methodist Church, where he served in many capacities. And whereas a talented musician, Gerry Howse played bass guitar in the band Pegasus and at church, and he loved to sing the gospel music. And whereas was known as a kind and loving soul, he made it a point to have a positive impact on the life of anyone he had the pleasure to meet, and he found joy in bringing people together. Whereas on June 10th, 1994, Gerry Howse married the love of his life, Peggy Howse, who survives him. Whereas also he left to cherish his memory or his children, Brian Howse, Sarah Ostrovsky, and Travis, Kayla Mack, and son-in-law, Shasta Ostrovsky, grandchildren, Grigory Ostrovsky, Leo Ostrovsky, Riot Mack, Violet Mack, Delilah Mack, Jan Howse, Deborah Brown, John II Howse, and Philip Howse Sr., sisters-in-law Anita Howse, Lydia Cleve Parker, and a host of loving nieces, nephews, and great-nieces and great-nephews and friends. Whereas he was preceded to death by his parents, John and Roberta Howse, his brother Duncan Howse, and his brother and sister-in-law, Sandy Stanton. Whereas Gerry Howse leaves behind a legacy of integrity in public life and compassion and loyalty in private life, and diligence and dedication in his chosen endeavors. Whereas it is fitting that we should remember the bountiful life of this exceptional public servant and human being. Now therefore, I, Cameron Sexton, Speaker of the House of Representatives, on this 112th General Assembly of the State of Tennessee, at the request in conjunction with Representative Mike Sparks, do hereby proclaim that we honor the memory of Gerry A. Howse, reflecting fondly upon his character, his many contributions to people of Tennessee, the stalwart commitment to living the examined life with courage and conviction. We express our sympathy and extend our condolences to the family of Mr. Howse. Sorry for your loss, man.
Thank you.